Savannah, tell us how cool calendars can be.
Calendars can be very, very cool. So I am in charge of staffing the reference desk. And as part of that, I live and die by my calendar. A lot of people do. This is my calendar. You see over here on the left, I have access to all of the other people who work the reference desk calendars, except for one. One has escaped my clutches. So I'm going to go over here to shared calendars and right click, and then click add calendar. And I'm going to click add calendar from address book. By doing this, I can access the calendar of anyone at UGA. So I am going to look up Jason Tabinis's calendar. There's his contact information. Yep, that's who I'm looking for. Yep, I want to add his calendar. And now you can see by default, I can't see everything he's doing the way that I can with mine, but I can at least see when he's busy and when he's free. And so that can help me when I'm trying to schedule a meeting with him. I can do this, like I said, for anyone at UGA. If you need to get permissions to look at someone's calendar in more detail, you can come up here to calendar permissions. And you can see here, Wendy and Heather both have a different access to my calendar. They have this folder visible. If I wanted, they could see the full details of my whole calendar. So if you are someone's administrative assistant, that can be very useful. But I like it just the way it is. So now that I have the calendar and I have the permissions to the calendar, I can schedule a meeting. So let's say I need to schedule a meeting with Jason and Rachel. I'm going to come up here to new meeting. And I'm going to add Rachel and Jason. Now, this view I do not find helpful. I prefer to come to this scheduling assistant, which is going to take that calendar view that I just had and kind of throw it sideways. So for example, today I can see this is for Wednesday, February 9th. So this is for next week. I can see that we're all free from noon to 1. What do I have before that? I have my undergrad class. That's fine. I'll be ready to meet with them by noon. So I can highlight the noon to 1 area. And now when I go back to the appointment style, it's remembered that I want to meet between noon and 1 on Wednesday the 9th. Now I can just add a subject and a location and some text, and we're ready to go. But first, we're going to check our response options. This is a pet peeve for some. Because this is a meeting and I want to know they're coming, I am going to have request responses and I am going to allow them to new time proposals. This is a very small, intimate meeting. That's fine. That's great. Sometimes we put things on shared calendars, like here in the library. If you're going to be out, you send out an email to the whole listserv saying Savannah's out. In that instance, I would uncheck this request responses because I don't need everyone to acknowledge that I am going to the dentist. I'm just going to let them know in case anyone is looking for me. But again, because this is a small meeting, I'm going to turn that back on and I'm going to allow them to propose new time proposals. So with that, I send it out, it pops up on my calendar, and it has already popped up on Jason's calendar as tentative, or it will in a second. Yep, there it goes. So I can see it's tentative for Jason. Jason knows that it's on his calendar. He can accept it if he wants to, or he can cancel it, or he can propose a new time. If I pull up Rachel's calendar, you'll see the same thing. Things look a little different when you are in the online version. If this is on the desktop version. So let's stop sharing for a second. And I've pulled up the web version as well. So as you can see, here I am today. This hasn't synced up yet, so I still don't have Jason's calendar over here. On the web version, it's a little bit easier to just click add calendar. And then I would click add from directory. Again, Jason Tabinis, and I can add the calendar. So now I can see in a slightly different color, he's busy tomorrow at 1. When is Rachel busy? Nope, not Stephen. Rachel is also busy tomorrow at 1. So let's see, let's meet Friday at 4. And now I can click into more options and do the same thing that I did before. I can click on the scheduling assistant. I don't need it for this one. I can also click on the response options. I can request responses, allow forwarding, or hide the attendee list very easily. And that is the gist of the calendars. Looks slightly different, has the same functionality. Are there any questions?
I have a question.
You have a question.
I do. Do you have a
Okay.
preference between the installed version of Outlook or the web version? Because they get to the same things, but they have a different way of doing it. And it looks like the web version was a little easier.
The web version is a little easier. It's a little cleaner. I've gotten very fluent in both during our work from home time, because at home I have the web version and here I have the desktop version. I will admit that I do not use the scheduling view when I'm trying to schedule the reference desk. Then I actually print out schedules for the students and I try to fill in the students first. And then I look at one librarian at a time and try to fill in where they're going to go based on who's available when. Because sometimes when you add like 7 people in that scheduling view, it gets really intense really fast. Anybody else?